Hello, Soulsticers, and welcome to my Solstice Living blog post reading corner. I write blog posts that are emailed out every Thursday, so definitely subscribe to that. But I decided to read them to you. We're just going to pick one each week and release that to you, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. But today, my bestie is flying into a dream come true type thing. And so the story we're going to read today is about our trip to hike the Camino de Santiago, which is a 500-mile walking trek through the northern parts of Spain. And it is considered like a pilgrimage. It transformed both of our lives, and especially internally in our souls. Okay, so today's blog post, Home Organization and the Camino de Santiago, Surprising Parallels for Success. Are you ready? Okay. Hello, beautiful people. I'm back and ready to chat about walking my first Camino. Recently, I embarked on what was supposed to be a 14-day trip with my bestie, but turned into a trek across Spain that lasted 50 days. Yes, 50. And during those 50 days, we conquered the Camino de Santiago, the French way. Over those 50 days, Bestie and I walked 692.5 miles and 1,623,314 steps. For a bit of reference, many Fitbit and Apple Watch wearers try to reach 10,000 steps a day, which would take you to about 500 steps over our 50 days. We did 3 times that amount for 50 days in a row. You may not be feeling this with me, but I'm patting myself on the back right now. Extremely happy face. So there are known stages on the Camino that each person experiences on his or her journey. The first portion of the Camino was all physical, as our bodies adapted to the norm of walking an average of 15 miles per day. The next portion was mental and the clearing of our minds. And then we encountered the emotional. Oy vey. Difficult but oh so freeing. And then lastly came the spiritual, which is the purpose of the Camino and the main reason most people do walk. Yet as I walked and walked and walked some more, I kept noticing correlations between the journey I was experiencing and what my organizing clients go through on the daily when trying to tackle their clutter. And so I started compiling a list of the similarities and decided to share it with you. Here's a summary of how to successfully walk every day for 50 days, minus a few rest days/hours, that can be applied to successfully organizing your home. No idea where to start. Organizing advice, just pick a spot. There are 281 caminos, paths, encompassing more than 51,500 miles of routes through 29 different countries, all leading to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. We chose the Camino Francis, the French way, which starts in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in France and is roughly 490 miles. This one was the one recommended as it has more services, aka cafes and albergues, which are hostels for pilgrims, than any other remote. This was the one recommended as it has more services, aka cafes and albergues, which are hostels for pilgrims, than any other of the paths. And it was also because if you've ever seen The Way, that I think motivates a lot of people right now. But it didn't matter which one we chose, as the daily activities would have been the same. You wake up, you start walking, you stop somewhere for breakfast, walk some more, eat second breakfast, which was my favorite, walk some more, maybe lunch somewhere, choose a city and albergue for the evening. You shower, maybe laundry, figure out dinner, go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again. And so with organizing, just pick a room and then pick a corner and start. It doesn't matter where you start because the process for organizing is the same as well. You place hands on every item and you make decisions. So just start. Here, I'll do it for you. Start in the cluttered room that you're in the most often. For example, if it's between your master closet or your guest bedroom, which you never see, start in your master closet. Now walk to the doorway, look in, and glance to the left. That's where you'll start. Good luck. And if your brain went to a different corner, it's fine to start there as well, or even a different room. Go where you are led, where you have energy to actually declutter and organize. That's where you start. Self-care is required. And the organizing advice, make self-care your priority. Since COVID, I've witnessed an increase in self-care. It's absolutely beautiful. And on the Camino, it was no different. Amber and I made sure to stay in private rooms or a hotel at least once per week, and we scheduled full body massages, oh yes, each week as well. Game changer. That first body massage, the masseuse was magnificent. And afterwards, especially the next day, All the tiredness in my body was gone. She was just that phenomenal. I'll put her names in the notes. And if you're ever in this town, I don't remember what it is, go see her. Legs up a wall. I also introduced the yoga move, legs up a wall, aka Viparita Karani. I'm sorry that I mispronounced that. To myself, my Amber, and then to our Camino family. And so we'd arrive at our albergue and start 10 minutes of legs up a wall. And there'd be like 5 to 10 of us lined up, and then other pilgrims would join us, and we'd all be legs up a wall against our albergue. And I love this every time. And so this especially saved the legs, especially during those first 2 weeks. And then secondly, every evening I started massaging muscle oil and lotion onto my feet. And eventually I do it in the morning and the evenings. And this prevented my feet from constantly hurting or remaining sore. Minus, I did have a lot of blisters. With self-care, it's vital to know what you need to reset. So for me, I gave in to the urge to quickly reset the shelf of games in a random Camino cafe, which is hilarious. And I was laughed at by all my friends. Organizing-wise, you must incorporate self-care, as organizing is a physical activity, but it's also mental and emotionally draining. So what can you do? Take breaks, drink water with minerals, eat a healthy snack or meal if you're working longer hours, go for a walk to clear the mind and reset, stare at the trees, listen to music, take a bath with Epsom salts. We did that also on the Camino, game changer as well. Meditate, practice yoga, do breath work, schedule a massage once you've completed an entire room. Journal about your feelings or any memories that arise. That way you get it out. The key is just to listen to your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. Give space to all and then get back to the organizing. Good luck. Roadblocks will occur. Organizing advice. Tackle one roadblock at a time. Physical ailments are the biggest roadblock you can experience when you're walking an average of 15 miles every day. It's going to happen. Don't expect it, don't plan for it, but if and when it does happen, accept it and deal with it. I wasn't going to stop. That wasn't an option. And so I took my time, I went slower than my usual pace, obtained additional assistance, and just took it one step at a time. The pace will change. Organizing advice. Any pace is a good pace. On the Camino, sometimes my body moved fast. Okay, rarely. Sometimes it moved at a snail pace, and oftentimes it meandered. I love meandering. But the longer I walked, the more my body adapted until there were days where I felt zero pain, which was a huge success. I could walk 15 plus miles at a decent pace and still have more in the tank to go to the next town if needed. It was a beautiful feeling, these copacetic moments. It was a beautiful feeling, these moments. For organizing, it doesn't matter what pace you declutter and organize. It only matters that you continue to do it, because the longer you do it, the more you'll start to see your muscles and mind adapting. Before you know it, you're automatically putting the pen back in the pen container, your shoes on the shoe rack, the dishes in the dishwasher. You'll subconsciously know where something goes and won't even have to make a decision to put it back. Your body and your mind will just take you there. It's a beautiful feeling when your mind can stop making decisions because you already know where the items live and you just have to put it there. You need less than you could ever imagine. Organizing advice, less is more. So this is the most obvious takeaway from the Camino and from organizing. We all need much less than we imagine. I lived out of a 30-liter backpack for 50 days. I had 2 short sleeve shirts, 1 long sleeve. I slept in on cold nights, 2 pairs of pants, a hikings and a leggings, and 1 dress. That's it. I wore those clothing items every day for 50 days straight. And it was fine. I survived. I looked great in my photos. Bonus, didn't even get tired of the clothes and have been wearing them when I'm back in Houston. The hard question. If your house burned down tomorrow, what would you miss? One of the Buddhist philosophies is non-attachment. This means letting go of our attachment to material possessions so that if an item disappeared from your life, you would not feel suffering. Most of us are not there and most likely won't ever be there. However, we can look with fresh eyes at our clutter and around our homes. When we open our eyes, turn off the clutter, blindness, and actually see the clutter, it is life-changing. So ask yourself, how long has it been that way? When is the last time you were able to access that closet? Put hands on the items in there. Then ask yourself the why. Why are you keeping it? Memory? Convenience? You like it? Is it guilt? Figure out the why of every item, and if that why is not strong enough, perhaps it's time to let it go. My joking advice, sell it all and go live in a 30-liter backpack. On a serious note, it was absolutely freeing to only own what was in the backpack I carried. My clothing decision for the day, am I wearing the blue or the orange top? The pants and hats, oh, forgot to mention, I had a beanie, ended up buying a sun hat, were determined by the temperature outside. So only one decision to create my entire outfit, and it generally was determined by the last day I washed each shirt. When clutter is removed from your spaces, it creates a better flow of energy and you physically feel better. You are no longer weighed down by the clutter and how it makes you feel. However, only you are able to determine what you keep and what you release from your life. So dig deep, guys. Integration. After the Camino, we, our Camino family, are all back home, resuming our normal lives, yet our conversations are all, I don't feel like myself. It's hard being home. Can we go back to Spain? Let's open an albergue, which we later discovered this is reverse culture shock. The need to return to the simplicity of Camino life is strong in all of us. The reality that life is here, that it kept moving without us, and we are integrating back into it, is a tough pill to swallow. We changed. We are different. We went internal, spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental. And when we left, we were not the same people. Just as you are not the same person you were when the clutter started. Whether we embark on a walking Camino or are living our life the best way we know how, we are constantly changing, evolving, and it's a beautiful world we live in that allows us to do that. But it's not finished. I am lucky to have a Camino family who constantly checks in with each other, seeing how everyone is feeling, what we're thinking. We conduct Zoom calls, connect with weekly walks and talks. There's the connection, the continuation, the knowledge that we are not alone in our journey. For the organizing, you need to continuously check in with yourself. How's it going for you? You will have to hold yourself accountable. Do the shoes belong there on the entryway floor? Most likely not. Who's going to move them? Atta girl or boy. One quick rule of thumb I adhere to in my own life is the 4-minute rule. If it's going to take 4 minutes or less, I complete the task right then. Putting my shoes on the shoe rack in the entry closet is one of those tasks I force myself to do every time. And I truly encourage you to adopt the same mindset. It is a life changer. And I also would like to state that emptying the dishwasher generally takes less than 4 minutes. And so just start timing the tasks. And if you know it will take less time, just do it now. Send that email, respond to that text, put your clothes in the dirty hamper, do the things that take you less than 4 minutes. After clearing the clutter, your space will feel amazing. Keep that feeling alive by adding plants, running diffusers, hang art that lifts you up, post photos on the walls, or simply dance around the room. Remember to prevent the clutter from building back up. And if it does, just set aside time to put everything back in its proper home, aka the reset. Adios. If you are surrounded by chaos, it's hard to achieve peace. Eliminate the clutter, you find the peace. But the peace will not occur overnight. And it will not occur by simply eliminating the clutter. That's the biggest step, but it is only step 1. You will have to reset often and continue to place items back in its assigned home. It is a never-ending process, but you do that with many aspects of your life. Brushing your teeth, getting dressed, washing dishes and clothes, showering. We accomplish tasks every day that you most likely don't even think about. Go ahead, make a list. Making coffee or tea, driving to work, taking out the trash each week, reading the newspaper, checking emails, responding to texts. The list goes on and on. So simply add reset to your daily to-dos. Last suggestion. It does help if you reset daily rather than letting it all accumulate and doing it once a week. So set that timer for 10 minutes, perhaps in the morning when you first wake up, or my favorite is to do it at night. After dinner, the dishes are done, I'll reset my entire house of where I've been that day, and it just saves the future. But it's whatever's best for you. If you only have time and the mental energy to do it once a week, and you will do it that once a week, then that is what's best for you. Second conclusion. The Camino was a life-changing walk. I met people who I know will be in my life forever. But more importantly, I discovered a peace inside of me. A simple joy that when I focus on it, lights up my entire being and can bring tears to my eyes. That is what I want for you in your home. I want you to walk into your space and feel peace and joy, to have it surround you. I wish for you to find a sanctuary within your home. If there's anything I can do to help you find your way, please reach out. Buen Camino, SFK. P.S. Also reach out if you have questions about the Camino. Would love to speak about it. P.P.S. Here's my final packing list. Enjoy a look into my brain.
Soulstice on stage.